Hey guys, Briwagz Bass Channel, back again. Eddie over my shoulder, Steve Harris not far behind. So, what I wanted to do was jump off the left-hand thingy, the combos for a minute, and just go through three super important patterns, two of which I've covered in the box patterns when I was doing the box patterns. And then the other box pattern, so that's the minor, this is the major. But we're going to dumb them down even further. So, but first, before I do that, super important to playing a lot of the music that I like to play. A lot of it's written in minor keys, anything Black Sabbath. There are some major key stuff, but it's primarily minor keys. Same patterns that Geezer Butler would use, the bass player from Black Sabbath, for you kids that don't know who that is. Super important. Here's the just the blues scale. I'll call it just the blues scale. So to reference the name of that scale, I would call that G, because G's the root, right? In this case, G minor blues. And the reason you're calling it blues is because that note right there is not part of the key. So it's a note, you could call it a passing tone, you can call it a blue note. Blue means outside the key. So whenever you play a note that's not in the key that you're in, you can call it a blue note or a passing tone. And the reason it's called a passing tone is because when you play, you are passing from the C to the D note, and you're using the C sharp or the D flat, in this case C sharp, to pass up or walk up to that note, to the D. So it's a passing tone. It passes from one tone to another, and it's out of the key. So if you play this, you can hear it's not right. And Sabbath actually does this, Black Sabbath actually does this in the song Black Sabbath on the album Black Sabbath. So they play a riff in G minor, and they use the root, the root, the octave, and then you could call it a flat five, but it's really a blue note. Tony came up with a cool riff, and that's the whole song, right? And then there's the bit at the end, which is a minor pentatonic riff in G. They don't go out of the key of G for the whole song. There's some stuff at the end that they do musically for the solo, which is at the end of the song. But anyway, so and any key that you do that in, right? So that would be A blues, right? actually A minor blues. I call it minor because I'll go through some modal stuff in a little while, but I wanted to cover this. Okay, so we got that one. We have just a minor pentatonic, which I've already done. So that was the first box pattern that we did. When I introduced the box patterns to you guys. So that was the G minor pentatonic. Now the reason I'm not playing that top string is because I'm truly playing the pentatonic 5, right? Penta. And then we also have the G major pentatonic. So this is what I want you to do. Take those 3 patterns, do one at a time. Actually, you could do, what's cool is you could do all 3 off the G, or you could do one of them off the G and then move up to the next whole tone, and then move up, and then move up, and then move up, and go all the way to the 12th fret. But I like the idea of doing all 3 patterns in one key. So like this. And then once you get comfortable with playing all 3 patterns in the position, then you take one of them, start at the lowest point on the neck, work up to the 12th. Do it once, then do it again, then descend back down. So ascend, descend, ascend up the neck, descend down the neck. So that's the way, it's a good practice regimen. Whether you do it once or twice, whatever you do, be consistent and learn the patterns and play them in every spot on the neck, because it's harder to do than, say, to do it purely because the spacing between your fingers is less as you go up the neck. Now, when you get to the 12th fret, you're changing your positioning. Now I'm throwing in different feels, right? Like I'm thinking maybe in 3, or maybe in quarter notes, maybe in eighth notes. So that's why you need to use the metronome. And if you're just clicking 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, and that's your quarter note, well, that's your quarter note. If you want to play on that click, you play on that click. If you want to do click and click and click, and then you're moving to eighth notes. And then if you go to a 1E and a 2E and a, then you're in 16th notes. So you got to just figure out what you're doing and stay within the framework. I mean, honestly, if you bounced around, that's cool too. Ultimately, the most important thing is that your fingers are on the neck and you're playing stuff. So to me, the better I get is when I'm constantly playing learning songs, working on exercises, whatever it is to make me a better player. So I know this was a long video, but that's good because most of my videos have been shorter. So check it out. Do what I asked. If you really like this, please give me a thumbs up because that lets me know I'm doing something cool. If not, give me thumbs down. If you really dig it, share it with a friend. Send my videos to a friend, and hopefully he or she joins up and subscribes. And I'm just doing this for the love of what I do, which is playing a lot, teaching a lot, and learning a lot. Always learning. I'm 54 years old, but man, I'm not even close to my capacity as a musician and a bass player. So what I want to do is learn as much as I can and show other people what I've learned, and you know, certainly I learn from other players too. So that's what drives me. So thanks for checking it out, Briwagz Bass Channel. Beware. Remember, Irons Up, Future Past Tour at Iron Maiden. Go check it out. They're doing some cool stuff in the set list. See you guys.